Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. September 9th, 9/9/25. Man, time is flying. I mean, we're approaching the year end. And so we're going to help you guys crush it. We're super excited. We're sitting on the most prolific technology on the planet, and we've got what the whole world needs, and we have no competition. I mean, how spectacular is that? And we're with a company that is just crushing it, fastest growing company in the world in this relational marketing space out of 7,000 companies, 2 years running, and with a leader at the helm, David Schmidt, who just is blessed by God. And what a gift this man has been for all of us. I know my wife and I, we pray for him almost daily. So grateful. And I'm sure many of you are as well for this technology God gave him that's now changing our life and giving us amazing opportunity to get it out to the watching world and then be blessed in return with a company that's committed to the distributors. They're not looking to sell to some investor group and have it level set like Beachbody or and other great companies that basically push the distributors to the side. Now David is all in, and that gives us some peace of mind, some runway to be able to continue to look to create generational wealth. And so, in that concept, think about that generational wealth. How many people today that go to work today is um, happy anniversary with your life, Sylvia. Do you think are excited about the opportunity to build generational wealth in their job, right? And here, you and I, we get to be the messengers on a mission to help set them free, to break them out of where they're at by plugging into this amazing opportunity that we have, to help them get after the dreams God put inside their heart. And it takes courage to do this. It takes boldness, it takes persistence, all the great qualities of life that make life worth living. That's what this opportunity puts us squarely into position for. I just came from a networking function and I had to do some work, just managing my schedule. So because I live an hour and a half north of here when there's no traffic, 2 hours when there is, and so I had to make a decision that because I'm in a hotel right now and Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, Florida, and because in order to do this team event, I didn't want to do it from a Panera Bread. And I've got another meeting. So, we all have busyness in life that we're thinking about, and but we're making room, in this opportunity to make sure that we can continue to stay in the forefront of sharing this amazing opportunity. So I got this hotel room because I had then a networking function right before this, and actually it was still going on. I had to leave it, and there probably was over 100 people there. I ended up patching at least five of them, and in this opportunity, what do I do to let you know what do I do, 3 years in as an SPD and this going on my way to elite and with helping you all and with Greg and Men on the same thing on our way to elite. What are we doing on a day in, day out basis? Well, we're taking courage and being bold, and we're sharing this patch with people. And and it was interesting. The first person I talked to, well, actually the second person, but the first person was in a wheelchair and I'm patching them. And they said, yeah, I've heard about this before. And, and I said, well, basically, really, what'd you hear? And so I said, oh, let me re-clarify really what this is. And tonight, well, I'm going to be sharing some great snippets from amazing Zooms that you're going to come away with to be able to engender the confidence that us as SPDs, elite SPDs, you can't shake us. Like no one can say anything that's going to move me in this. And we want to help you get that kind of awareness, that confidence, those word choices, so that you have the continued boldness, the continued confidence to continue to be active with abundance on in anticipation, with the expectation from God that He's going to bless you. And that's the first thing I did when I got to this event tonight. I looked at all these people. I said, oh my gosh, where am I going to start? Who am I going to talk to? And I'm always looking to talk to maybe somebody I don't know, right? You ever feel uncomfortable sometimes, in a room, you're going to start talking to people you don't even know? Well, you know what you need? You need the hand of God to lead you. And that's what I said. I said, Lord, I said, I pray, give me divine appointments right now. Who do you want me to connect with? and bam, I mean, it was just one after another, and and so and then I had to leave. And and so and the first gentleman, he's in a wheelchair. He says, "Yeah, I heard about this. Someone shared a pass with me." And I said, "Okay, just one." I said, "It's 1 month for every 10 years of life." I said, "We have a good quadriplegic testimony, and just the confidence that rolled out of me, partly because I was on the the Q&A with Joe Navarro here at noon today, just listening to his confidence and just and it just really resaturated my mind. Yeah, the basic concept, what do we have our hands on? We have our hands on the most prolific scientific discovery in the world, and we're sitting with it, and we're seeing miracles in some of our family friends' lives. And there isn't any drug or pill or anything out there. So, I'm going in with that belief in that room praying for divine appointments. Bam, I talk to the first person. He's like, "Yeah, I heard about the patch before." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, but you didn't hear from me." You didn't hear, this is what this thing is doing. This is why it's the fast growing company in the world in this space. This is, the miracles it's doing for people. This is how this thing works. Did you understand this? Is this something that you think you'd like to be able to learn more about? You know? And boom, got him interested. I put a patch on him and said, "Okay, good. Here's the deal. What's the time tomorrow that I can follow up with you to get some questions answered for you in this patch and give you a link that you can take a look at?" And so, but the point is, someone else already shared the patch with him. Then the next person I talked to, well, they had they had said, "Well, I wore the patch for a month, and I don't know." And I said, "Hold on, you only wore it for a month? It's 1 month for every 10 years of life." And she just kind of stopped. But the confidence that you have, the confidence that I have, when I just crinkle my eyebrows and I said, "Just 1 month?" Well, that body language that comes from your belief is picked up on the other side of that conversation. And in order to help really engage people. And I'm not going to unload too much more in right now because we're going to save this for our coaching format of tonight's team meeting. But I just want to say welcome. Welcome to the most amazing opportunity in the world with a team that has a system that duplicates, that gives us the ability to not only get more patch on more people and see more miracles, but to be paid in such an amazing way that can truly set you free. In the meantime, bless you along the way. So welcome tonight's team call. And my name is Ken Burke, if you're new. And my wife, Diana, she's at home. And thanks to this amazing opportunity, we have an interior decorating. We have this massive 12-foot or 13-foot tree in our home that we decorate year round for the seasons. And we left Easter up so long because it looks so darn good. And now she's home getting it decorated with an interior decorator we've hired to decorate it. And it's starting to look spectacular for Thanksgiving. And then we'll do it again for for Christmas. But thanks to this patch and the financial opportunity we have, it's no problem hiring somebody to come do that in our home. So welcome to this amazing opportunity. Our goal is to help you begin to incrementally step your way through getting to your dreams. That's why we're on this call. That's what the purpose of the team call. And as you get into this business, you'll understand it's about duplication. What you do, others will do. If you're on this team call, great job. Because as you begin to go manager and sponsor people and help them go manager, you'll get more of them on that team call following your lead. You're leading people to help get them to their dreams. And we're all following a system. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. And we're so grateful for that, for Steve and Gina Merritt. We'll talk about in a minute. And that this is a team that we're part of. But welcome to tonight. You'll also hear from Greg and Manny here shortly. They're also SPDs on their way to Elite SPD. And it's really awesome because I got them wonderful opportunity 3 years ago, just over 3 years ago, to enroll Greg and Manny. They were my fifth person I sponsored. And you're going to find out that we have a system, and part of the system is you want to go manager, but it's 20 left, 20 right. Meaning after you think about going manager, 2 left, 2 right, then you want to begin to think about, I'm going to sponsor 20 people left, 20 people right as quickly as I can. How fast can I do that? Can I do it in 9 days, 9 months, 9 weeks? What is that done in? 90 days, And so I remember in my first 20 left, 20 right, which I accomplished, probably I have to go back in about 40 days or less, dragging men over my fifth. And then I went down another 20 left, 20 right. And my 63rd person that I sponsored was Andy Hoser on my 103rd day in this business. And out from just those hitting gold and hitting basically striking oil, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking to strike oil, looking to find leaders. And that's why 20 left, 20 right is so important. And you pray God's favor because they're out there. And that accelerated, where we're at. And now we're continuing to help build and help everybody do the same. And so part of this team call tonight is to be able to connect you to the vision of how we do what we do so you can do the same too. And then as your friends come in, they do the same thing also, right? Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm going to screen share with you briefly our kind of our agenda for tonight, and then we'll roll from there. And I get my computer working properly.
From this weekend.
Hi guys.
And
You'll
there's
get to
two
see this
things.
in a minute. Stop the share and try to grab this again. Like I said, I just got here at the hotel, so but we should be good. Okay. There we go. Okay, guys. So my wife and I, we started a community inside of this amazing team. This is a team which is led by, and we want to thank God for the Visit Team Pro System and Stephen Gina Merritt. But that's team Stephen Gina Merritt, by the way, they started, it was just them two 39 or more months ago. And now that's grown to over 600,000 people. They've led the charge, creating the fastest growing team in the world in any kind of business, corporate, this industry whatsoever. And you're part of that. We're part of that. Well, in order to stay connected and together, I create a community within the This Is a Team umbrella. So for all of us to connect using all of This Is a Team tools available to us, not reinventing the wheel. So we are part of This Is a Team. Additionally, we have down my right leg, I have really the fastest growing community inside of This Is a Team, Danny McDaniel, and you can't cross line or get into that community. But I have access into that community, and they're amazing SPDs. They just broke another one last week. All following This Is a Team system. Alrighty, but I can get access to videos too, which you're going to see tonight, that I can pull into our Believers for Life community to continue to help you win big. So we really feel that the Lord blessed me and my wife with the position we're in, so we could be a blessing to you in underneath this amazing umbrella of This Is a Team. And so that's where the context of Believers for Life exists. So once again, we got Tuesday, September 9th. This is for all brand partners. This is not meant for new people who have not seen a presentation yet. So if that's new, then they probably want to click off and come back and see a presentation first. I mean, they can stay on, but it makes a lot more sense when you've seen what this product is. So tonight's agenda, well, we're going to hear about testimonials of health and wealth for the week. We're going to celebrate rank advancements. The coaching tonight, I've got clips that my team member, Brendan, we've clipped that are going to bring you fire. They're going to bring you conviction, and also a doctor's approach. You want to know how to talk to a doctor? Well, you're going to hear that. And yeah, we're Bahama bound. So listen, we're going to the Bahamas, and are you coming? Because it is more than possible. There's plenty of time to get this thing done, and we're ready to do it with you. And then we have the 1 Million Stars event. That is what's going to be happening at the corporate convention. That is the corporate convention. This is one of the big next events. These are the things that you and I go to get a vision of where we're going. And so when you hear from David Schmidt and you hear what's happening and you understand, what's behind you and what you're promoting, when it comes to the corporate vision and David's vision, then you dovetail your vision inside of that vision, and that brings you more horsepower, but it also brings you more of a wherewithal of why you are part of this opportunity. And now that's corporate. Now, corporate, they cast their vision, but we have the vision of how to build the business. Corporate doesn't have that vision. We do. And so Steve and Gina Merritt, and the next day after that event ends on Sunday, has their 1 million stars event. Remember, our goal is to hit 1 million distributors this year in the This Is a Team system. And so that is going to be where the equipping and the fire and the summary of packaging all up the corporate convention together is going to come. And you're going to come away better than before. And then once again in August, I mean, excuse me, in January, we have a virtual event, the All-In event in January. And then once again in person, we have the Unstoppable event in August. And so this business is built from event to event to trip to trip. No other industry is built like that. And once you catch that, begin to understand it, you'll understand that what you get from these events, you will not be able to get anywhere else. And it will drive you to go forward like nothing before. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, we're hitting the fourth law of the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. And it's the law of process. And it is awesome. And I heard Joe Navarro today say, your first mission, your first goal is manager. And but then after that, you implement your process and you get to to get to senior director, director and then senior director. So I thought that was a pretty cool statement that's honoring the dynamic of process. And it's process that we all follow in the pro system, the daily method of operation that gives us the ability to be able to win bigger. So how are you doing with your ability to be disciplined and focused in your process? Well, catch aboard tomorrow night and get inspired and equipped and empowered to live bigger tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Tomorrow also at noon, Women's Zoom led by Men and Warm Beer and Diana. It's for women only. Men are not allowed. And so I almost jumped on another women's Zoom that I have with part of my other right leg today. And I was like, oh, I can't be on the Zoom. So I had to get off. So it's only women alone, and it's empowering, and you want to be on it. And then tonight at 8 o'clock, I'll be doing an X39 presentation. And so if you have people that you're thinking about still need to see it, that you were talking to today, get them on. We'll get them excited, get them fired up, and put them back to you ready to sign up. All righty. And also, lastly, this Saturday, I'm doing an in-person basic training. Now, this was supposed to happen last Saturday, and but we couldn't get. There's a group of distributors locally. This is going to be in the Clearwater, St. Pete, Largo area, and so if you live in that area, this is an in-person training. And thank the Lord moved it to this Saturday because a lot more team are going to be able to make it. And God has given me and my team member Brendan just an amazing presentation of equipping that we're going to be so excited to bring you. It's going to be fire. You're going to feel equipped. And no matter how long you've been in this business, you're going to come out of this thing like a new person. And it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 12. And that will be pushed back out again on where at our amazing director's home. And so at Donnie and Candace Flores at their home, they've opened it up. We're excited. We're going to see if we can actually fit everybody in it. It's going to be amazing. You're going to want to be there. You want to make sure anybody, new people you've sponsored, you want them to be there because we want to help them win and get out of the gate correctly. And the basics are what build this business. And so it's so important that they get the basics down quickly. Because, when you sign somebody up new, what do they want to do? They want to start talking to everybody. Well, you know what you want to do? You almost want to stop them from saying anything to anybody almost and want to give them some basic tools of equipment to learn how to share what they need to share so they don't throw up on everybody and kind of ruin it or set themselves up for false expectations. So we want to make sure that we're helping new people really set the stage properly to win big quickly out of the gate and help them get on the ship, the Bahamas, and help them get through the ranks and get connected and become duplicatable. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to stop screen share for a second here. We're going to ask if you've got a testimonial, just a physical testimonial from the patch, or if you have a financial testimonial from this amazing opportunity. And remember, this business isn't just about sharing the patch because you can be healthy and broke the rest of your life. We're about helping to create generational wealth. So, and on your way to your first paycheck, $50, and so on and so forth. On your way, you're now on your way and from implementing the system, and that is important. So, alrighty. Well, Denise, I see your hand is up. You want to go ahead and unmute yourself and share? We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, hi, good evening, everybody. I'm so excited because last month I went to Puerto Rico and one of my best friends, her daughter has neurological issues. You know, she's like 21, but she's like 13 years old. And I want her to try the patch, but we were not able to kind of like close. So when I went last month, she started using it with her. And like so there has been next week is gonna be the month and she just signed up today. So I'm so excited for them. So, and then one of my partners, she signed someone that, she lives half, and this is kind of knowledge for everybody because this person lives in Texas, but she lives also half of the year in Mexico. So we were trying to figure out how she can receive the patches in Mexico City, in Durango, where she lives. And so finally today we find out how it was done. So you had to do like a store order and but then put it as monthly subscription with the Mexico address. So hopefully this Friday is gonna ship from there. So we got that resolved. But helping her because she's new to the business. I talked to her like for an hour today, kind of coaching her, and then she's inviting someone to the meeting today because now we have meetings in Spanish every day of the week. So they are gonna be there. So I'm excited because today was like a good day.
Congratulations, Denise. It's been so neat to see you progress, and I just love your tenacity and your belief. And you're just being, I love how you're direct, and I love it, So great job. Alrighty. Who else may have a testimonial for us?
Jason's raising his hand.
All right, Jason.
He's like waving. He's like,
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
First off, I'm super excited. I've got three of my brand new team members on the call right now. This is awesome.
Right.
Excited to see that.
great job. Awesome.
Thank you, thank you. For me personally, one of the best things this has happened. So, I'm a big advocate of, this thing works.
You want anything?
I'm sorry.
Oh, all right. We gotta make sure everybody's muted. Craig, can you mute them? And then you may have to unmute yourself again.
Okay.
Yes.
Jason, let me see here.
All
All
right,
right,
we
go
good?
ahead, Jason. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so like I said, my team members have heard my personal testimony, but a lot of you guys haven't. My wife and I, we've been on this for 2.5 months. When we first started, my wife was wearing the patch because she has endometriosis, and most women know what that is. It's very painful, very harmful. The last 3 months, she's had zero pain with that. She has a hiatal hernia, which caused severe heartburn. She was taking 5 heartburn pills a day, sleep sitting up every other night. She's down to almost zero heartburn pills with no heartburn. And as
Wow.
of Thursday, this is the 3rd week that she has not taken her blood pressure meds. She blood pressure actually runs high in her family, hereditary. So she was taking labetalol every day for her for her blood pressure. Actually, this past Thursday does. It makes 3 weeks that she's not had to take a blood pressure medicine. Her blood pressure is perfect. Her pulse is perfect. I mean, when I say this patch is literally changing people's lives, it's not just making us, some people, it does make you feel better, but it's literally changing our lives. And my wife, after the first month, she even told me, she said, even if you didn't do this business, I want to stay on this patch. So yeah, so use that testimony, guys. Use I tell even my people, use my testimonials. Because a lot of people, when you first start off, you don't have your own testimonials to start off with. When I first started, I used some of Ken's testimonials that he told me, but now I have my own. So as you start to develop your own testimonial, share those, but you utilize mine, utilize Ken's, utilize Greg's. That's a very big part that people, they want to hear that and they want to believe in that. So
That's awesome, Jason. I'm so excited for you too. Now, how did you and I meet? How did this work out?
we met at the chamber, the Manatee County Chamber. He patched me, and number one, I was drawn to his jacket. As we all, if you know Ken, he's all about his flashy sports jackets, and I love it. So and actually Rebecca's on the call, and Rebecca didn't believe you were real till we jumped on that meeting the other day.
Hey, Rebecca.
So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yep. Well, the PRO system works, guys. And here's the miracle. Look at Jason's wife and Jason. right? I mean, this is the power of our Puro system we follow. Patch, revisit, follow, plug them into the opportunity. Load up the Zooms, right? As Joe Navarro says, load them up. Well, great job, Jason. Appreciate you. All right, we have one more, and then we do have to run because I got to get some. We've got to get to a couple things here with honoring someone who hit manager recently. All righty. Well, Greg, I'm going to turn it over to you, yeah, if I can, and have you
Yep.
share for recognition,
Yep.
and then I'll take it back from there. So
Okay,
appreciate
awesome.
you.
Yeah, it's always great. And so once again, great here from people. Once again, congratulations, Denise. Congratulations, Jason, on what's going on. Super excited about obviously all the testimonials. We did the meeting last night. We had 2 testimonials from the 8 o'clock meeting, 2 testimonials from the 10 o'clock. We could have had 10 from each. I mean, it's amazing. All the testimonials we're getting every single day, which is fantastic. So
And we had some people sign up today as
Yeah.
they heard some things on the meeting last night, and
Yeah.
that got them confirmation that they need to be doing this business, and so we're excited about that.
Yeah. So you want to talk about the
So
ranks? Yep.
yeah, it's exciting to recognize ranks. We just recognize people who are actually moving up, and that's an indication of they're out there, they're doing the activity, and our activity is pretty simple. It doesn't we don't need to become a scientist or a doctor to do any of this. It's really just open up our mouths and share. And so it is the pro strategy to patch, to revisit, and to follow through and to bring them to a meeting. And when you start doing that, well, first and foremost, you got to make the decision, because it really all starts with your decision. And once you've decided that this is it and you want to be all in, you're going to go and you're going to share with the people that you love and you care for. And we all inevitably are going to find 4 people, because I think we know a lot more than 4 people, right? So, and a lot of people, well, everybody has stem cells. So we all should be using this product. And when 4 of those people say yes, they're in, you are going to sign them up as a core or above, and make sure that everybody stays active, which means they stay on a monthly subscription. That is the way we do this. And once you've got those 4, 2 on the left and 2 on the right, you now have your core 4, and you are now a manager. And so we recognize that rank, but then we do move on, because those people also want to rank manager. We help them to become managers. We talk about manager making machines, because really that is all this business is. And so we're going to find 2 that want to do exactly what you do, because it's duplicatable. Nobody does anything different. And they're going to find their 4, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. And you're going to put 1 more person on the left, 1 more person on the right as a core or above. And then you are now ranked a director. And obviously these ranks then open you up to more money on the binary, on the compensation plan. So we do have 1 manager to recognize tonight.
Yeah.
And he is downline to us, quite a ways down, right?
Yeah.
So Frank Killam is his personal sponsor, and
Who's under Cheryl and Mike?
who's under Cheryl and Mike, who's under Josh, who's under us personally.
Yep.
And so Jim Nanstad just recently ranked manager. So we congratulate Jim. And I think we'll soon be seeing a lot of executives and senior directors that we're going to be recognizing. So super excited about all the growth that is happening. But just remember, it really starts with you making a decision.
Absolutely. And so what's nice about this is Josh actually visited a BNI, had never been to BNIs before. I recommended going to different BNIs, and he's actually then, Cheryl was presenting that day. She was the president of the chapter. She had, I think, 11 guests there that day to see her present. And so then we talked to her about it. She's like, sign me up. And she signed up at the highest level, and they've been senior directors and grown like crazy, soon to be executives, which is very, very exciting. So yeah, so congratulations to Frank and obviously Jim, which is cool. So I'll go back to you, Ken.
Awesome. Great job. And listen, I also want to say last night, you guys crushed it. That was so awesome. The presentation for the national team Zoom and the launch, the X39 presentation you did, and then the motivational message. I'm like, man, oh man, that was fire. And you guys crushed it. And so, So great job, and so glad to be teamed up with you guys and love it. So just want to honor you in that regard as
It's
well.
awesome. We have fun.
Yeah.
We were exhausted.
I can imagine. Yeah. But I try to avoid doing those because I'm like, I don't mind doing it 8 o'clock, but to do it again at 10, I'm like, I'm ready to go to sleep. I get up
Yeah,
like
that's right.
5 in the morning. So I'm like, nah, I don't think I want to do that. So, but great job. I'm glad you guys pulled it out, so you guys are awesome. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
So, hey guys, what we're going to do now is I've got I've got 3 formats of video clips. Alrighty. And so what I'm going to do is if by chance you happen to miss the Saturday trainings, now remember, this business is fueled by the trainings and the X39 presentations. The more X39 presentations you see, the easier it is you're going to learn how to share this. And the more team trainings you're on, the more powerful you're going to become for those around you during the day, and also for yourself to be able to hit your dreams. So what I want to do is, so this Saturday, if you were not able to make the training or catch the replay, we had Scott and Rita Brennan did This is a Team training at 1 p.m. and they're elite SPDs and they're fire. Well, what they did is they brought on some of the people who are not SPDs. They are people coming up through the ranks, common folks that are excited and that are winning. And what we did is they had about 5 couples come on, and what we did is we just edited out a 25-minute play, about 8 minutes of just nuggets, because I want to give you continued empowerment and hope to hear from other people that are similar to where you're currently at, right? And so they aren't at the highest rank yet. So I'm going to go ahead and share that with you, and then after that, we're going to hear from Tori Brooks, and yeah, 7:34 right now. So all told, it's about 15 minutes total. So that would put us, we don't have time. So we'll have Dr. Tori Brooks talking about how to share this opportunity with doctors, great approach. And then we're going to wrap it up. Joe Navarro has just a very empowering message that will give you a renewed vote of confidence in your own conviction, your own belief, your own ability to be contagious, and in sharing this opportunity. And so give me a minute here. I'm going to go ahead and screen share, and we'll bring these up. Okay. Yep. Here we go. Nope. Violinist. Okay. Myself out of the way here. Sorry, guys. My screen doesn't allow me to select the tool to start it.
I'm about ready to go play violin, and I'm also a mother of 3. I homeschool, and I got involved in, first I was patching for several months, then I got involved with Renita. I immediately took action. She showed up to the area where I live and said, who's with me to start a team? I responded right away. How we're going to win the next trip is just taking that deliberate action, just not recreating the wheel. You have to just patch, revisit opportunity. And with that, it works. It works. You don't have to, like, I'm creative here, but I'm not going to be creative with this system. I encourage the people who are on my team to just follow the onboarding process. You sign up, you follow every step on the thisisitteam.com. You do onboarding, then you go manager, and then it continues from there.
I'm Josh Bolin. I'm a realtor here in the Emerald Coast. My pro tip is follow through. I've been a contractor for a lot of years, and just that one phone call to follow up after the initial engagement makes all the difference in the world, because you stay top of mind, people remember you, and they often will say things like, I was just thinking about it, I was just praying about it, I was wondering about it, and your call is making that decision happen for me right now. So That's my little pro tip.
My name's Chris, and I'm in the beach service here in the 30A on the Panhandle. One of the biggest lessons I've learned in business and entrepreneurship is consistency. It beats intensity. Now, what I mean by that is consistency is a slow build. You do everything every day as much as you can. Plug into the system. This is a team because it's there. It's already implemented. It's a well-oiled machine that we all abide by. And when we don't reinvent the wheel, then we can build that momentum and become intense. With that said, my tip is don't overcomplicate it. Don't wait for the perfect day or perfect time. Take the action. Consistency is what builds confidence, belief, ultimate freedom, and we'll see you in Bahamas.
Hi guys, I'm Dustin Schilling. This is my wife Tammy. I currently own 2 commercial cleaning companies, one up in North Dakota where we moved from, where Scott and Rita still are, and then one down here in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida.
And I'm Tammy, and my tip is staying inspired. And when I was thinking about how we even began like signing people up, it's kind of a fun story. I was a one patch wonder, and so I knew I wanted to be a user of the patch, and then I got invited to the conference a couple weeks after that, the last year's conference, and I thought, well, all of my friends are going. I have total FOMO. Yes, I'm gonna go, but I really had no intention on, adding another business, and so went to conference. And we've been to conferences before. We know how they work. I know, you're going to get encouraged, you're going to get inspired, but I had no idea the impact that it would make on my life. I just feel like it's heavenly solutions from the throne room being put in the hands of people who say yes to it. And that's a really big deal. It's a really big deal for us. It's a really big deal for the people we do life with. So that's really helped our business grow.
My name is Alyssa, and I live here in Florida. I'm a homeschooling mom of 5 kids. And so, believe it or not, that kind of takes up some of my time. I also help out with our landscaping company a little bit. My pro tip is your business is closed if your mouth is closed. So it's not just if I'm on the computer or on Instagram. It is if my mouth is open, and I had to figure out how to get that done. And I just remind myself while I'm exercising. Sometimes I just go on walks, get my calls in, make sure I'm touching base with 3 new people to 5 new people every day. Also, I got to bring my patches everywhere I go. So I've got a pack of patches with me everywhere. Do not leave home without your patches. You will regret it. You're going to want to put a patch on somebody because it comes up all the time in conversation. And so those are my pro tips.
I'm Kyle Eichley, and we have a landscape company. We moved down here from North Dakota. One of the tips I was thinking about is just being comfortable with being uncomfortable. And just even the other day, I went and did a sales call for my landscape company, and I've been wearing my patch like over here on my arm. And this guy, he was all fit and everything, and he's like, "Hey, what's that on your arm?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a phototherapy. It's called LifeWave, and we're working on getting him signed up." My manager was like, "Hey, what's that on your arm?" I was like, "Oh, you need this." And he's like, "Man, I've had consistent great energy all day long," but I still feel very uncomfortable talking about it. It's not like I go and do a landscape call, I can sell it. I feel super confident. I know the industry. I've been doing this stuff for 20 years. I feel like I'm growing every single day, or trying to grow every single day with communicating about LifeWave.
My name is Nikki, and I live in Florida, and we did get to go on the Punta Mita trip. It was amazing. We had just signed up with LifeWave in October, and to win the trip was something I never would have thought was possible. So it was unbelievable to be there. It was our 20-year anniversary, and I thought we couldn't have done that trip for our 20-year anniversary on our own or with our own resources. So it was a tremendous blessing. So don't miss the trips. They're so worth it, and they build your belief about the company, but also about the people that you're running with, and that's huge. But yeah, one tip that I would share, I'm a pretty practical person because I like to get in there and get going and be really productive. And I'm a nurse, so we get going and we start sending these messages, sending links, answering questions. We have this and that. And I think by the time I do something 2 or 3 times, I'm like, this needs to become a template that I save, that I have access to quickly, and that I can send out to my team and say, use my words, use my text, take this email, make it your own. And so that they can duplicate the system. You're taking work off of people that don't know how to word things. Sometimes I think we get stuck in that. So if you have something that you're communicating well, you feel like it's helpful, send that to your team, make it accessible, save it somewhere so that you don't have to keep rethinking how to type or word something, but you just have where you can put it on repeat. That's one of my tips. Love that.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? My name is Bo Brennan, Scott and Rita's son, and I've been with LifeWave for a little over 3 years now. And it's been absolutely life-changing for myself, both health and financially. But my biggest tip that I would say for you guys is definitely, like Sam said, be genuine, be authentic, and just come from a spirit of wanting to help others. And then my next thing would be to get to the events because ultimately that's the foundation of your business. That's what's going to help you build belief and just have knowledge in what you're selling and just have passion for that. But and then also get out of your comfort zone. You know, I moved down to Scottsdale, Arizona a little over a year ago now, and didn't know anyone when I moved down to Scottsdale, and so just had to put myself in position to meet new people and to grow my business that way. So leave your hometown, get out of your comfort zone. So that's my.
Hey, but what do you do right after you talk to somebody about the patch? What do you send them?
I send him something from This Is It info. So I send him something on the product, and then I send him our 3-minute video that we just came out with. It's absolutely cutting edge and amazing marketing. So
Thank you.
yeah, thank you guys.
Uh,
All righty. Pretty powerful, huh?
That is
Pretty amazing.
awesome.
Okay.
You know,
That's
and you know why I did that real quick, and we're gonna roll the next 2 videos here, is I want you to hear new voices that are all sharing the same message that we're all sharing. And just want you to be encouraged that this kind of fire is happening. You know, that was up in the Panhandle, you know, and actually Scott and Renita are in North Dakota. They came down, they must have stayed, I don't know, his home in the 38 area and got some of their distributors locally there, you know, to be able to meet them for this team call. But what a great honor to be able to be partnered, you know, and to be able to build in a system and a team. Like I said, you're part of an amazing team, right? And so we're all in this together. So I hope you found some hope, got some great nuggets. I did, and we're just going to roll. Let me roll to the next video. And we may have a couple time for Q&A after. So let's do this here. Share again. Actually, let me tee this up here first. Make sure we're in the right one. Okay, this is going to be, I'm going to do Dr. Tory Brooks and his wife, Misha. And he's going to share how he approaches doctors as being a former doctor himself. All right, so let me pull this back up. And here we go.
Speaking to 2 doctors of physical therapy and a wife and a husband, and we know their woes. You know, they don't have time freedom. And I asked him what his exit strategy was. He looked at me like I was a ghost. So I asked him, I brought up the subject of what's your exit strategy? And he had nothing to say. And I said, well, wouldn't it be nice to have the end in mind? Because I sure do wish I would have thought of that when I started. If somebody would have even brought this up to me so I can get that process going. I said, how about this is what I'm able to do for my physicians that we have on our team. All right. Some of them love what they do. Some of them are trying to figure it out, but they do have one thing in common. Someday they want to exit. They need a retirement. They need some money coming in. I said, how about I help you build your retirement while you're practicing? And he said, that would be awesome. I go, that's when he said, here's my number and let's talk. And so we had him there, and then I introduced him to you. But that's how I introduced that to physicians. I helped them with their retirement fund, and it gets their attention every time.
And I've heard that before. You know, doctors will say the best way to appeal to a doctor is help them figure out a way to make money while the lights are off. Hey, doc, I found a solution that helps other doctors make money while the lights are off. And if this is something that makes sense to you, would you be open to a 5-minute phone call so I can snapshot it with you? You know, and then you can say that, and you bring me, Greg Mena, your upline on, and we'll talk to that doctor. So just FYI, same thing as what Dr. Tory said and his wife Misha, that you know, hey, you know, what's your exit strategy? That's a powerful question. Very personal, but it's profound. And if you got credibility, then they're going to probably answer that or want to at least want to know more. And so, you know, you have the opportunity to see that conversation. What happens if I helped you, you know, with that exit strategy to help make that happen for you while you're still working your job here? Why wouldn't they want it? Right? So, all righty, guys. Last one here. Joe Navarro. Love Joe, man. I'm more lit today just from listening to Joe. And that's the power of us being together and listening to each other is you have a fire, I have a fire, they have a fire. You put your fire with the Zoom fire, and then your fire gets not twice big, but a whole lot bigger. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good thing. It's a God thing. So thank God for Joe. And here we go. Let me get him up here. Bear with me 1 second here. Sound is all the way up. Yep. Okay. Last but not least. All right, come on, Joe.
Let me tell you guys a story from this weekend. And there's two things I want to impress upon you. The first one is belief, but the second one is just really divorcing yourself from the outcome and not caring. Just whether they say yes or no. Obviously, you want them to say yes, but you really got to have that swag that I'm here to share. And I believe, and I'm just going to be the messenger. So what happened this weekend was Jordan Russell and I had a tailgate party. We had a vendor spot at the Friday Night Lights, and we were there before the football game. We showed up, and we had our little booth there, and there's barbecue and all that. It's a private Christian school, this wealthy school, and what I've learned in that kind of a situation is just to release it. And I was playing cornhole with the kids instead of trying to stand by my spot. I'm trying to make connections. Hey, how you doing? Meet people and say, hey, have you heard of the patch? And then just share a couple stories. Well, I got one guy who is very influential. I'm talking about extremely influential. He's like one of the dads that runs the camps over here. And I started telling him stories, and he was mind blown. And here's what I told him. I said, his name is Chris. I said, Chris, listen, if I'm you, I'm wearing the patch, and my son's gonna wear the patch. Like I said, I'm taking myself out of, I'm just marketing because I'm a part of this company. I said, no, I'm telling you that not because I'm a part of this company and I'm trying to sell you a patch. I'm telling you that because when you understand that we're over here not just peddling patches, and this is the most advanced stem cell technology on the planet, you're going to get your son on the patch because he's an elite athlete, and you're going to get on the patch. And so he's like, well, how does it work? Just told him a little basic concept of how it works. It's light therapy, reactivates dormant stem cells. You put this on and it's going to elevate the GHKCU. Then it's going to send a signal to your brain. Then here's what it's going to do. Then I started telling him story after story after story. Now listen, he brings me over to the next booth, which is two doctors. I think it was a physical therapy doctor, and the husband was a dentist. He said, I can't even explain to you what this guy just told me, but Joe, tell him what it is. I said, I market the most advanced stem cell technology on the planet. I know that sounds crazy, but we're not over here just peddling little patches. This is life-changing technology over here. And then she said this. She said, oh, is it the X39? I said, yes. And I told her, my quick story. And then she said this, like not impressed. She said, I've got like 5 of those patches in my desk from people that have given me five different people have given me patches. Now here's the training. You're either going to be me or the 5 people that gave her patches. And I said, well, you need to hear it from me, because those 5 people, if you haven't applied it on your body and on everyone around you, you're not seeing the miracles, and you don't understand that this company went from 20 million to 600 million in 4 years. And it's, Lord willing, it's about to go to billion. And we have so many testimonials. Here's one, just for example. And I told her Galilee's story about the skull, how in 10 years, she had a hole in her skull, and the same surgeon from SEAL Team 6 said that it's impossible that the skull can close like that. And I said, you wouldn't believe it. She said, come in and see me. Here's my number. Make an appointment. Let's talk. Guys, I said, listen, you have patches in there, but no one told you the story. If you're not wearing them and you're not seeing miracles, with all due respect, you haven't heard it from me. You haven't heard it from someone who actually knows what they're doing and knows the power of what you have in your desk. She was like, call me, make an appointment. Bam. That's it. You're either going to be one of those people that's intentional, with clarity, with vision, or you're going to be a patch fairy. I call them patch fairies. There's little pixie dust all over the place, like my daughter. Just, you know, you don't want to do that.
Oh man, I love that. Patch Fairy. Okay. Powerful. Super powerful.
Yes.
Man, oh man, oh man. So it is 7:52. So if someone wants to chime, we'll take the next 3 minutes here. And then at 8 o'clock, I'm starting with the same Zoom link I'm launching. So we're going to take the next 3 minutes, 2 minutes here. Who would like to chime in and just say, what did you get out of this that you know that you're better now to get after this? Just unmute yourself. You got to unmute yourself.
Hey, Ken, I'll share.
Roberto.
How are you, sir?
Spectacular. Outstanding.
That video with Joe Navarro, that is fire. Because I was just on a Zoom earlier today, and I heard not that same thing, and it wasn't from a doctor, but they said that they had patches, and instead of leaning in like Joe did, I pulled back, and I should have leaned in.
Yep. Well,
So next time I'm coming with the fire.
There you go. There you go. And that's the power. That is the power of these being plugged in, staying close to the fire. That is, if you want to be successful and you want to run all the way and you want to get all the way to your dreams, you just stay close to the fire. So I just brought some fire for us all tonight. And all I did is I brought it. I wasn't the fire. You know what I'm saying? So, and then all you gotta do is click your phone and watch it. No burpees, nothing. It's like it's so simple. You just got to put a wedge in your time for these Zooms and these amazing things. So listen, guys, this Saturday is going to be off the chain. I'm just telling you straight up, you're going to want all your team this Saturday in Seminole, if they're local, if they can make it. I've been buying equipment, lavaliers, stuff, everything that we can make sure we get it recorded so everybody gets access, but I'm excited for everybody in this call tonight because I am confident in the good Lord above that we're on the verge of blowing this team up. And it's time. It's time for you to be able to begin to go, right? And it all comes from a belief. You've got to believe that you have your hands on the most prolific regenerative technology on the planet. You've got to believe that because that is going to give you the confidence that when you're talking to somebody, who may or may not listen. And here's the deal. You don't have to convince anybody. I've tried that. I'm a gifted salesman. It doesn't work. You're just the messenger. And you've got a mission along with us in a movement, the fastest growing team in the world. There is no movement on the planet. We've got it. So we're part of it. And we get to see these amazing miracles. Like it's a movement of miracles and it's a movement of generational wealth. And we're going to begin to incrementally help people. We're going to open their eyes and know what that looks like, that they can believe it. Just stay close to the fire. So, hey, listen, Greg Mena, anything you want to close out? I want to honor you guys and make sure that before we close this out.
No, this was phenomenal. So thank you for taking this. Once again, thanks, Brendan, for clipping these, for working together to get these done. Just a reminder, 6 weeks left for the cruise. Be intentional. We got people on our team that's already qualified, which is absolutely exciting. We want you to qualify. So getting the three-way calls, getting us on meetings. We're having people signed up every single day. So get Ken on the phone, whoever your leaders are. Get them on the phone because, again, it's not them. It's usually their voice and their confidence once against another person hearing from them. So definitely do that. Three-way calls are working very, very, very well. Did you want anything else you want to share?
Yeah, just a reminder for the women tomorrow. So come expecting. We have some great things and awesome people that are going to be sharing tomorrow as well.
Yes. Awesome ladies. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, great.
Great training today. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Alrighty, so I'm going to, if it's okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this out in prayer. And if you guys got to run right now, we get it. But if you want to stay another 30 seconds and join with me and agree with me in prayer, that's fine. All are welcome. And so, but God is the one who's gotten me and this opportunity, my wife to this opportunity. And so we just feel an obligation to give him glory publicly because he has publicly changed my life in this opportunity. So he deserves it. So if you want to join me, that's great. And then we'll close it out, and then I'll come back 2 minutes later on this same link, and we're going to roll through an extra 9 presentation. All righty. Lord, thank you so much for this amazing time. Thank you for all just bringing us into this movement and allowing us to be the believers, Lord, to be able to herald the message of hope to those around us every day, because every single person we will talk to tonight and tomorrow and the days to come, they all have stem cells, they're all going dormant, and we've got something, we've got hope, but we also have a formula for success to set them free financially. And Lord, like you've done for my wife and I, and many that you're on the way with Greg and Men and all of us, Lord, that you've been blessing. And Lord, we're so excited. So we just pray one step at a time, consistency, and just staying close to the fire and trusting you to go before us this week. Lord, give us divine appointments, Lord, and the courage to continue to share with those who may or may not. It's okay, Lord. And we just thank you, Lord, that you're going to help our team get on the ship with the Bahamas bound trip. And so we're excited. And we thank you for your blessings upon us. It's an honor to serve you. We thank you for David Schmidt, and we thank you for all of this. And we love you in Jesus' name. Amen. Alrighty, guys. Look forward to seeing you soon on the next Zoom. And blessings, everybody. And I'll be back in Monday.
Thank you again. Awesome. Great meeting.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jen.
Guys.